Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we will walk through the syllabus for the Juniper Network Certified Professional Enterprise Routing and Switching Exam, JNCIP, so you know exactly what to study and why. Overview of the exam weightings and focus areas. BGP accounts for 25% and covers advanced configuration and troubleshooting. Interior gateway protocols make up 20%. Ethernet switching and spanning tree are 15%. IP multicast is 15%. Layer 2 authentication and access control is 10%. Class of service is 10%. And IP telephony features are 5%. Each domain lists difficulty, estimated learning time, and assessment type, which range from hands-on labs to conceptual and scenario-based questions. Use these weights to prioritize study time and practice in a lab environment for the hands-on topics. BGP is 25% of the exam, rated hard, with an estimated 30 hours of study and conceptual plus scenario-based assessment. You will learn BGP operations and fundamentals including message types, the BGP state machine, path selection criteria, eBGP and iBGP peering requirements, next hop resolution, and the routing table structures such as LOC-RIB and ADJ-RIB in and out. The syllabus also covers attributes and policy control, so expect to manipulate local preference, MED, as path prepending, communities, origin attributes, and to apply import and export policies with prefix lists and regex filtering. Finally, you will study scaling and advanced BGP features like route reflection, confederations, route dampening, MPBGP, graceful restart, and troubleshooting using show and monitor commands. Interior gateway protocols comprise 20% of the exam, rated hard, with about 25 hours of study and conceptual plus scenario-based assessment. You will master OSPF2 and OSPF3 operation including adjacency formation, LSA types 1 through 11, area types such as stub and NSSA, router ID selection, IPv6 support, and database synchronization. ISA's implementation topics include PDUs and adjacency rules, Level 1 and Level 2 design, wide metrics, NET address structure, and route leaking and redistribution between domains. The domain closes with advanced IGP policy and troubleshooting, covering route redistribution, prefix lists and route filters, authentication, cost manipulation, convergence troubleshooting, and LSDB and routing table analysis. Ethernet switching and spanning tree accounts for 15%, is medium difficulty, and requires roughly 18 hours of hands-on and conceptual study. You will learn spanning tree protocols including RSTP, MSTP, and VSTP, and how to configure BPDU protection, route protection, and loop protection while troubleshooting STP convergence and topology changes. VLANs and advanced switching topics cover 802.1q tagging, kink and stacked VLANs, private VLAN design, voice VLAN configuration with LLDP MED, virtual chassis concepts, and Ethernet ring protection switching. Focus on practical configuration and lab exercises that demonstrate trunking, VLAN assignment, and rapid recovery from link changes. IP multicast is 15% of the exam, rated hard, and carries an estimated 20 hours of study with conceptual and scenario-based assessment. You will study multicast fundamentals and IGMP including multicast addressing, IGMP2 and IGMP3 host registration, IGMP snooping in Layer 2, reverse path forwarding checks, and the differences between shared and source distribution trees. PIM and MSDP implementation topics include PIM sparse mode behavior, rendezvous point discovery, auto RP and BSR, PIM source-specific multicast, MSDP for inter-domain scenarios, and Anycast RP design. Practical skills include designing multicast distribution, verifying RPF and group membership, and troubleshooting multicast flow and replication. Layer 2 authentication and access control makes up 10%, is medium difficulty, and suggests about 12 hours of hands-on and conceptual training. You will learn 802.1 export-based authentication, common EAP types, and integration with Radius for centralized user and device authentication. The syllabus also covers MAC Radius for non-802.1x devices, dynamic VLAN assignment and guest VLANs, fallback and authentication bypass strategies, and captive portal workflows. Emphasize lab scenarios that configure authentication profiles. Test dynamic VLAN placement, and observe authentication failures and recovery. Class of services 10% of the exam, medium difficulty, with an estimated 15 hours of study and conceptual and scenario-based assessment. You will learn cost components and the processing pipeline, how to classify traffic with behavior aggregate and multi-field classifiers, and how policing and rate limiting work for single rate and two rate scenarios. Scheduling concepts such as weighted round robin, queue management including read and rewrite rules for packet marking are included so you can design end-to-end cost policies and validate them under load. Practice creating classifiers, applying rewrite rules, and verifying queue behavior in realistic traffic scenarios. IP telephony features are 5% of the exam, easy difficulty, and require about 8 hours of scenario-based study. You will focus on LLDP and LLDP MED for endpoint discovery, voice VLAN configuration and DHCP options for phones, PO management and budgeting, and cost considerations tailored for voice traffic. The domain also includes troubleshooting IP phone connectivity and optimizing access ports for telephony deployments. These topics are practical and best learned through simple lab setups with phones or simulated endpoints. That wraps up the JNC IP and syllabus overview. Use the domain weights and estimated study hours to build a study plan. Combine reading with lab practice, and focus on the hard topics like BGP, IGP, and multicast for the best preparation. Good luck and study smart.